Welcome back to the Real Triathlon Podcast, the fastest hour in triathlon. Sorry, I did a Nick Chase intro there.
That was good.
But, yeah, I mean, Nick always carries the energy when he does that. You know, I figured I'd throw it in there and see if I could bring some energy to this podcast. We got our main energy source. Jackson's not here, so we got to, throw it in there.
Lisa's here. Lisa's the hype.
Lisa is the hype. Lisa, we are coming up on almost 1 year of you being on the podcast. Time flies.
Whoa. Are you serious?
Oh, I can't believe you guys haven't kicked me off yet. But I think it's probably because the downloads are like through the roof. Never higher, never better. Except 2020 year.
Yeah, I think they took an initial rise and then they kind of went back to where they were.
Yeah, but
dang it.
Hey, more people are listening to the YouTube one. It's definitely growing. We haven't really seen a transfer from the audio downloads to the YouTube, but the YouTube is growing. And the good thing is when you go from 75 downloads to 150 downloads, that's 100% improvement.
100%, baby.
Or not downloads, but views on YouTube, right? I would be worried if we're getting 150 downloads on the audio.
Is that bad?
That would be awful for audio.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be terrible.
Yeah,
So
we'd be sad. We probably wouldn't be able to continue. Like, heartfelt wise, we'd be like, really no one's listening. But I think we've still got listeners. Tons of them. Tons of listeners, actually.
Yeah, if you're one of those listeners listening to us right now, thank you for being here. We appreciate you. Keep listening. Yeah. I promise it'll be somewhat entertaining.
Well, I mean, I think it's a good time. It's that time of the year where I think we still have Patreon members. And I think that I'm going to log into Patreon right now and we're going to just say thanks to everyone who's been a Patreon person.
Can we give them some stuff?
What?
Can you pick a Patreon and we'll send them some stuff?
Are you going to send it to them?
Yeah.
All right. If you send it to them, because I don't have anything. You've got it all at your house.
Yeah. Thank you so much. If you're a Patreon, thank you so much. It's kind of just there, and it's just a link that you can click, and it helps us so much do this stuff. I know we don't give back maybe really at all to you guys, but you guys just know that you're supporting us, and these episodes are kind of what we're giving back, and it allows us to do this.
We do give back in the fact that we keep going. We're not stopping.
And we're going to send a lucky Patreon something.
Yeah.
That I am choosing out of our attic.
How many Patreons do we have? Can we just send everyone something?
We might be able to. Well, maybe a sticker. But we do have 20 patrons of the podcast, which is just crazy considering we haven't really asked or done much or given a lot to you. Let me see if I can find the names. I won't give last names. But I know we've got some longtime fans. Lisa, have you brought any fans? That's the question. That's what we need to figure out.
I don't know. If you are listening to the podcast because I joined, will you drop a comment on our YouTube or Spotify or wherever you get your downloads? Podcast?
Just on YouTube.
Just do it on YouTube. Tell me hi, I'm here because Lisa.
Patreon is like so slow right now. It's not loading anything. Okay, so let's move on to something that is loading, which is this past weekend. That happened, and we're going to get back to the Patreon people midway or at the end. I'm going to pull you up. So, yeah, the weekend. It was good. You guys weren't there, but I was.
No. I know you were there Nick, live in person.
You were?
So, Nick, give us the rundown. How was it? I know that race is hard to spectate because no one's allowed at the swim, and then the run takes part like in the other county. But yeah, how did it go down?
So first and foremost, Ironman 70.3, Indian Wells, La Quinta, whatever it's been called over the years. I do think it is an awesome venue because it's pretty beautiful there. The Palm Desert area, the mountain backdrop. You can do you can go up to the ski resort to Idlewild. There's Bentley dealerships and McLaren dealerships. It's like super fancy. The food's delicious. But Ironman really made some mistakes this year, and I'm willing to tell you exactly what I think they are. Do you want to know what they are?
I want to know what they are.
All right, imagine this. You're at this, imagine the previous years you're at the tennis club, and it's freaking legit, beautiful, awesome. And now this year you're at in a pseudo abandoned kind of golf course area. Like the golf course they ran on was actually beautiful and nice, but the surrounding area was like not done. In the parking lot was about a mile and some change away from the expo. And it was the dustiest, siltiest parking lot you will ever have been in your entire life. Then there was no transportation to and from the parking lot, aside from like 5 golf carts and maybe a gator. T2 was mixed in there somewhere. And then once you got to the expo in Ironman Village area, it was really pretty, green, and it was right next to the road, like beautiful. You could get right there, but no, you had to go drive a mile and a half out, park a mile in a dirt dusty lot, and then walk in. It was the most inefficient way to like get and hang out. So that was really unfortunate. Second thing, number 2, swim start. There's just not big enough for anybody to spectate, which sucks because like I took the Zoot van because they had VIP access, and I dropped all the Zoot people and Matt Hansen and Jackson off because they race as a team. And like I had to leave by like 6:30, otherwise I would have been stuck there. So I didn't get to see anything. That sucked. And if you want to see, like, I wish I'd have brought my scooters. That would have kind of fixed everything, but I didn't bring my scooters. So 2 big things. And then the third thing was, I think there was like, the bike course was just like randomly animals on there. So otherwise, no big deal.
Man, I know I raced that race one time way back in the beginnings of it, and it's like I just remember it being stunning and beautiful. I really liked it, but I do hate double transition races. Like I hate that T1 and T2 are separate and so far apart. Like same vibes at St. George. It's an all-day endeavor to get that, and especially if you have to go to the expo first and do the mile walk there and the mile walk back. I feel like Ironman has done things in the past where they've had like school buses shuttling people. Like every 10 minutes there's a school bus shuttle. Like at Benton Harbor at Steelhead, Michigan, they used to do that. They'd shuttle people places. So I feel like that's an area they can probably improve next year. Simple, hire some school buses, probably not going to cost that much money. And just figure out how to get people to the swim start and out of the swim start.
Yeah, I don't know. I think anytime you see a 2-part, you're just in for it. You just got to suggestively go into it knowing probably going to be a pain in the ass. But I don't think it has to be at Palm Springs because there's a lot of space, better space. They could have wet that parking lot down like in the days prior so it was at least packed. Because it was like that, that desert dirt that gets dusty and silty, and then like when you step on it, it's like powdered sugar.
Yeah.
That's how bad it was. So like people were driving, it was just gross.
When you blew your nose later, was it brown?
Yeah, but speaking of blowing your nose, I had no idea like Jackson was going to be able to pull this race together. His sinuses and his congestion were to the extreme all the way leading into the race, and he was just blowing his nose. I was like, dude, how are you able to push anything through this? And he nailed it. And after the race, it was he left a whole Kleenex box with the Kleenexes in, like kids do in the rear door. Like that was like, dude, you better get that shit out.
He's always sensitive. He's always been sensitive to that stuff. So I feel like he's just used to it at this point.
Yeah, I am too after COVID. Like swimming in Sand Hollow here in St. George, I sound like this. It's awful. But the race itself was great. It was fantastic to see not like such a crazy deep international field. It was a very like North American strong field. I loved that. Having Sam and Lionel go toe to toe, and then Jackson always mixing it in there was amazing. I know that there was a Carter Stuhlmacher. He was on our Super League Tri team. That was his first 70.3, and he led out the swim by 2 minutes. So incredible. Ooh. He held in with the guys maybe till halfway, and then kind of like lost some stamina. The rest of like Ari Clow came back and ran 108, ran so well. Matt Hansen ran pretty well, came in I think 6th. Andy Kruger I think went 9th. Sorry. Yeah. And that was his final race with us. So thank you, Andy, for being part of RTS for this year. That was great. And then Tamara, she didn't have a very good day on the bike. She pulled out. Jackie Herring somehow golf carts, I don't know, in the transition had ran into the pro female bike rack and cracked Jackie's disc, and then obviously messed up her front wheel because she said it was wobbly. And everyone was like, "Do anyone have a front wheel?" And I had 2 wheels on my road bike, but it was like 30 minutes away. I wouldn't have been able to get there and back. So she got it done, finished well. The third place female was running with Lionel. It was insane.
Yeah, I have been following her since Oceanside. Oceanside 70.3 was her first pro race, and I think she finished behind me in 8th. She runs at University of San Francisco. She just competed at the NCAA National Championships for Division 1. I also believe she's on the triathlon squad there. I forget what country she's from. But yeah, she's a phenomenal runner, and I think someone who's going to be pretty scary in the sport come a few years when she's actually fully focused on long distance triathlon. So, was cool to see her on her first podium behind
She was charging
Kirsten Casper and Amelie, both Olympians, both short course girls coming over to do some disruption of the long course scene. So excited to see both of them on the podium. And yeah,
both of their
cool.
first time 70.3s, I believe.
Amelie raced Augusta 70.3. I think she
Kirsten
finished
for
maybe
sure.
4th or 5th, but Amelie was she was pretty banged up for multiple years. So Augusta, she was like, I didn't have the run training, and it showed. So obviously she did have a lot more run training under her to run quite quick.
Well,
So
let me get your opinion. Leave me in the comments here. What if we brought Kirsten on RTS?
she's great.
Lisa's like, I'm
only,
the best female.
Only if she teaches me how to swim like her. But no, we're more for it because Garrick and I want her on because she's also had the same hip surgery we have. So we're the RTS hip surgery squad.
Nicole's in line.
I know. Man, so
She was there too. Nicole was there. Oh, and then other things that happened at the race I didn't expect. Well, Casey, he won the PC category for RTS. Wore our kit. I coach him. That's lovely. And then the overall age group female, what was her name? Emma. I can't remember.
Emma Elliott.
Emma Elliott. We didn't even really know she was racing. She was wearing Annie Fuller's kit, even though Emma is on RTSX and she didn't have the right size kit and never told us. And so anyways, irresponsible kid stuff. So we'll hopefully figure that out next year. But she won overall female, and it was so funny. I have to tell this story because she's at the awards. Jackson and Matt Hansen are sitting, and I wasn't there yet because I was. Bear in mind that something else I had to do to avoid that traffic bullcrap walk back and forth was I would park at the Zoot House, which was 2 miles away, and I would drop everybody off, which was right there, walk 10 seconds, and you're in the village. And then I would go drive back to the Zoot House, and then I'd ride my bike back to the transition area, or back to the Ironman village, just because I'm a stand-up guy. So that's why I'm awesome. So anyway, she goes up to Jackson. She's like, hey, can I borrow your podium shirt? I won the female race for amateurs. And what's your name, by the way? She didn't know who Jackson was. And he was like, all right. And by the way, Jackson's wearing my podium shirt because he forgot his. And then I gave it to her. And then Jackson's like, I don't have a shirt now. And so he was walking around without a shirt for about 10 minutes. And then Mark Goddard gave him his Team Zoot captain shirt. So it was such a calamity. Good stories. But yeah, we had a lot of good work. Enduro athletes were out there racing. I think I had 3 of them. And just the Zoot vibe was so high. All the CEO, CFO, head of customer service, head of custom designs, head of marketing, they were all racing, and we were just supporting them.
Yeah, Sean O'Shea, he won out of all the Zooters.
Yeah.
And then I know we
Mark.
got to give Doug some shit because he was last. He got slapped around by Goddard. So Doug,
yeah, that's all right. Doug's Australian though. You can't mess with him.
If you want to get faster, you can reach out to me, Lisa Piqueras Coaching LLC.
There you go. She'll give you sunshine and butterflies, and no matter what you do, she'll tell you you're good enough.
Exactly.
Garrick, what did you take away from the race over the weekend aside from, give me some Sam and Lionel dirt?
Well, the only information I have about the race was the 2 Instagram stories that Nick posted. And then I heard at the pool today from a reliable source that Lionel sprained his ankle in the middle of the run and spent 2.5 minutes just sitting down. and then was like,
Yep.
well, I can still make some money. So he finished the race.
True that happened, and whether or not it was as bad because he was getting beat by Sam, who knows? Because that was one of the few times. And then also Lionel was immediately DQ'd when he finished because he was not zipped up. And at the pro brief, this is the scuttlebutt I heard. The pro brief, they said they were going to have an official there telling people to zip up because even Sam, like a while back, had at a pro meeting been like, look, I just want this to be set in stone. Let's just put it out there. If you finish and you're not zipped up and someone is telling you to zip up, you will get DQ'd and then you have the right to protest that, which is, I think, what Lionel did. I don't know. Should it have, I mean, Lionel was gracious about it. He's like, look, if I messed up, if that's my fault, then DQ me. But obviously I think that's a stupid way to lose your second place.
Yes, I don't think first of all, I don't think it should be a rule. Like, I understand that Ironman's like, yeah, we want to maintain some professionalism around the sport. So, like, yeah, we should all make an effort to zip it up. But if you're in the heat of the moment, if you're finishing, like, and it slips your mind, I don't think you should be penalized. I think it should just be like, hey, like, because it's for his sponsors too, you know? Like, I think it's his sponsors that care more.
Yeah, it's really
the
more
detriment
for you.
of the athlete.
You should zip up and, you know, put the sunglasses up and everything because, yeah, like it's like you said, it's for your sponsors. You should look professional when you cross the line. I don't know if it should be a DQ. Like, if you're allowed to race with it down, you should be allowed to cross the finish with it down.
Yeah. So I think they should nix that rule. But on another podcast, we had Talbot was calling for being fired Jimmy Riccatello.
Oh, snap. I didn't know that.
I know, yeah. I was listening to podcasts, Pro Tri News.
Recently?
Podcast listener. Yeah, today.
Okay, on what grounds? Let's talk about this.
Was he being serious or was he just playing around? Like, how serious was Talbot about this?
I think he was
says
being
a lot of
pretty
stuff,
serious.
But he's like...
Maybe he'll
like
backtrack eventually, but I think he was being pretty serious that he's like, Jimmy's got to go. He's got to get fired. So I was like, whoa, shots fired.
I know it's not an easy job. Global referee of everything and training up everyone to hold your standard. That's not easy.
No.
So God forbid that anyone says it's something they could do it better, because I think the politics of everything probably make it tough, especially that Ironman doesn't necessarily always set the rules. They take the rules from whatever, World Triathlon or WTCS, which is why our own Mark Dubrick will be testing with Jimmy Riccatello in Tucson the 20-meter draft rule, which I don't understand what they're testing. Do you know anything about that?
Well, I don't think we're allowed to say that.
No, it's been said on other podcasts that
there's
been testing in Tucson. So they are looking into it. And Jimmy told me personally when we were in Marbella that, because I was asking, I was like, yo, what's the deal? When are we going to get this? And he said, we're doing some research this winter in Tucson. So they are looking into it.
They did that test in Kona like 20 years ago, and it was pretty conclusive that there's no benefit at 12 meters.
Dude.
All I know is that these are steps in the right direction. I'm like let's do 30 meters. Like, why stop at 20 is my opinion, but I'll take
Let's send everybody off every 5 minutes.
One person on the course at a time.
Yeah. We got to spread this out. We need to get some course regulations going.
So go ahead, Nick.
Nothing. No, I was just going to say Jimmy Riccatello being called out. I don't know. I don't know if it's warranted, or I don't know what Jimmy has the power to change or do. If he can do a lot, I think.
Right? Is it all up to him, or is it not? We don't know.
I don't know.
I think it's definitely a tough job, and like he's going to take a lot of heat. That's part of the job. That's part of the paycheck. I don't know what he gets paid. I hope it's not a volunteer position.
No, it's not. You don't stay in that position if it's volunteer.
No. But something that, with regards to those rules, with regards to drafting and everything like that, hit all our inboxes was a couple days ago, was our personal Race Ranger data from Ironman. Those were sent over.
Only.
Yeah. So I was looking at certain people who shared it, like Adam Fye shared it, Lisa shared it. I was obviously looking at my stuff, and I'm wondering how much of a difference that the 20-meter draft zone would be, because in my mind, I'm always thinking, like, I'm always getting passed, I'm getting dropped, like I'm always last off the bike, and I'm like, that's not true, but it always feels like you're last off the bike after like you get passed by like 10 people, even if it's over the course of 4.5 hours. But I'm wondering now how much it's going to shake up the race, because I was always with it either 1 or 3% total drafting of relative to the most draftiest person. So I'm wondering how many people are getting advantage and are able to pull away, and like how that's going to shake up for some of us that are kind of like mid-pack effort, and we might get dropped by some of the faster front guys, but then some guys.
Well, I think we can agree that the top, usually spots 1 through 10. Garrick, your Wi-Fi is just great right now.
Is it my Wi-Fi or your guys'?
Whatever
Wi-Fi?
you said.
I think both of you guys have shitty Wi-Fi, and it's just mine's great.
Mine has all the bars.
Yeah, we're good, man. We're high-fiving each other. Well, to sum up what you're
saying, it'll come through. Basically, all I was saying was, how is it going to mix it up, like the 20-meter draft zone? Because those of us who tend to ride solo a lot or are more honest in the group and don't spend time in that draft zone, we might start getting dropped a bit more. Or are we going to be dropped less, and more guys are going to be dropped and not be able to hang?
I think more guys are going to be dropped. The less big.
I think, yeah. After like 8th to 15th position, I think there's a lot more going on there of people taking more risks to either save their race or try to save their run or bring something back. So I think that the 20-meter draft zone won't affect the guys who are in the top 5 to 8, maybe powerhouses. It might eject a couple people who are good swimmers and not good bikers. So that could be good. But I also think that if you're a runner and you've always been banking on that 12-meter giving you the best opportunity to run well, like you'll have a weakness. You will no longer be able to just hide a little bit.
I'm more curious how it's going to shake up those of us in the middle of the race. In the middle of the pack, like how many guys are hanging on there, and they might get spat out with the 20 meters, but are able to stay near the front. It's kind of what I'm wondering.
How many 20-meter races have you both done?
I've probably done maybe 3 or 4. I've done like a Clash Miami,
same.
and I've done 2 T100s. But I was like, in the T100s, I was in freaking no man's land, so I was riding by myself anyways. Couldn't even experience the 20-meter draft. So
yeah,
well, 20 meters should make you feel like you're on your own.
Yeah. You said it shouldn't or should?
It should. It should make you feel more like you're on your dime. It
does, because it's far. It's almost double what we're used to. And when you actually see the light in front of you, you're like, wow, I'm like, it's turning orange. I'm still so far away. But that's awesome. I mean, obviously, I am biased for this because the cycling is my strength. However, we have draft legal triathlon for a reason. So let's make non-draft actually non-draft. And I think
let's
20
make
meters
long course draft legal. Yeah, you got it.
No.
Yeah. What would it be like if it was like 100 and whatever, 112 miles of drafting, like in a bike pack?
I just want to know how many freaking crashes there would be, because when you're like at mile 80 or something, you're gonna be like, oh, kind of going delirious because you're going so hard and reacting, but also you still have to run a marathon off the bike. So
I'm pretty sure
it would be fun to do once.
I think it'd be fun.
We would see bike times like 5 hours because everyone would be like, no, I'm not doing it. No, you do it. No, you do it. Like it would be the laziest passive aggressive bike race ever. And then at the very like 10 miles, it'd be like, all right, everyone kill each other. That's exactly what it would be. It'd be like a cycling event.
But I think course selection would be like very important at that time.
Yeah.
And then
hilly
the swim would be even more important.
And allies, having allies or teammates or friends being like, dude, we got to break away. Like you could see like Lionel and Sam and Jackson being like, guys, we got to drop all these people. And
that's what they should test.
That would honestly,
like
that would
5 races within one race.
Yeah. I think we should bring back the races within races. Like, I don't know. Like preems.
Like what is that?
Preems and cycling races. You know, crits. Those are fun.
Yeah, if you could do
King
a
of the
push-up
Mountain,
every
Queen of the
mile.
Mountain. I would love if we introduce like a more
Push
athletic
up every
thing.
mile.
I think we should have to shoot free throws in transition.
The whole point of our sport is combining 3 sports. We can't start combining more sports.
We can do
Yeah.
whatever we want.
Modern day decathlon.
Like, isn't that what the whole pentathlon idea is? Where they're like
You have
True.
to be the world's
shooting
best
guns
athlete.
and swimming and running
Oh,
and
and riding horses.
horseback
and stuff.
riding and
Polo.
whatever they
I don't
do.
know.
That's always a sport
Well-
that happens in the Olympics, but there's no footage of it, and they never show the highlights, and they're just like, oh, this person won gold medal in the pentathlon, and you're like, well, when was that? Like when?
You're like, well, it's been going on for like 7 days, so
Yeah.
you missed it. Hey, so all right, drafting is what it is. Hopefully, they come up with something. What about the off season? What are you doing? Wow, what does it look like?
That's what I wanted to talk about. I want to talk about how important the off season is, what we define the off season is, because some people get very like, "Woo, this is the off season. This isn't the off season." So like by technical terminology, post season is like that first like week or two immediately following your last race, and then off season is the time when you're like building back into fitness. And usually off season can be various amounts of time, but usually it's a longer block of time. And then you have preseason, and then you have like in season. So preseason is usually like that month, 3 to 4 weeks before competition starts. In season is while
feel
you're
like
competing.
Preseason seems like it's like way longer though. Preseason's like, well, people are like, okay, postseason's like a week before I go crazy. Off season's like Christmas because I can't do shit because it's impossible. And then preseason's like January 1 to whenever you race again.
Well, I think you can, whatever terminology you use. I've been using like off season to build base, and like you get back into training and more of like an aerobic time, I think. And then
How
I
long
think
should
preseason
postseason be?
I don't know. I took 2 weeks off and did nothing.
I think it
And that was-
2 weeks of nothing structured, and nothing where you're like, oh, I just need to do this to maintain fitness. Like you
Yeah.
can't wake up early to work out before work. You know, you can't do just a 30-minute jog. Like it's got to be like, oh, I'm going on a hike with the family. Oh, I'm going to walk the dog. You know,
Gonna go play
like,
pickleball with
yeah.
my friends at the gym, shoot hoops. I'm gonna go for a 500-yard swim just because it feels good.
You're pushing it.
I mean, I literally sat on my butt for 2 weeks. I did one hike and then I was sick the whole time. That wasn't my plan, but I think it was my body telling me that I need to chill the freak out. So I think that's important. I do think you have to do a little like accessing. That's not the right word. Trying to
That's a good word.
internally assessing yourself and
There
you are where you are like mentally. Are you like really at the end of the season where you just like you had nothing left, or were you pretty motivated at the end of the season? I think that should also play a part into how much time you actually take off.
Well, I think something most athletes miss out on is that postseason rack and stack. What worked, what didn't work, what mindset, what priorities were off. Because right now, like, let's just face it, I'm having that moment, not for myself as an athlete, because my off season started August 22nd when I broke my femur. But let's just say the athletes I'm coaching who went to Patagon Man and had a bad race, or went to Indian Wells and had a great race. Like, if you had a bad race or if you had a good race, I know, like, I wear a lot of my of the weight on my shoulders if my athletes don't do well. I feel like it's my failure just as much as theirs, but at the same time, I'm looking at the nudges I give all the time, the personal accountability, the questions I'm asking. Like, are you waking up? Like, let's just face it, and you all may or may not agree, but how many athletes do you know who are very successful age group athletes, not pro athletes, who don't prioritize their first session of the day being before work or whatever, that is the most quality session of the day. And the athletes who do it later in the day, like I have maybe a couple who do it later in the day because they're night owls. But if you don't do your key session in the morning, if you're not holding yourself accountable, if you're not making your diet well, if you're not eating breakfast, if you're making the same mistakes over and over again, aren't you seeing a lot of failure rate on those types of mindsets if you're not willing to just put the iron that's in the fire on your body directly and feel the pain?
Yeah, I do with the athletes that I've worked with and age group athletes, amateurs that I know. I think there's a time and a place that you can be a little more like aloof and like work out later in the day and not prioritize, triathlon and getting things done. But I think there comes a time where you have to dig yourself out and start slowly creating good habits. And that's why I'm working with a couple athletes right now, trying to turn them more into early birds. And like you're gonna have more energy when you can work out at 6 a.m. versus like after a long work day at 5 p.m. But yeah, I think and Nick, I feel like you're really big on this. Like triathlon is self-discovery, and so we usually like triathlon endurance sport is a vehicle for us to learn a lot about ourselves. So I don't know, and we set goals, we achieve them, we get in good habits, we break the habits, we have to reteach the habits. So I think it's just a lot of ebb and flow and getting to a point where you yourself find a schedule and find success. I don't know. I just babbled.
I like it. It all makes sense. And I think the key takeaway, and Garrick, I want you to start talking about your perspectives too after this, is my takeaway is if you aren't setting process-based goals that you know you're bad at, because it's easy to be like, in 8 months, I got an Ironman and I want to do X. I want to finish under X. That's an outcome, right? But what are these processes that are limiting you in terms of having your family understand what you need to do in the morning and giving you space, or making sure that you do extra for your family because you are taking that space, or the fueling that you need to take to work so you can optimally recover after your morning session, or you can have a good lunch. So these little processes that either affect your body's recovery ability or your mindset, whether it's listening to podcasts, having a good mindset during these sessions, and holding yourself accountable to suffer. If you're not suffering during training and training isn't hard enough, then that's oftentimes something you need to look at yourself and as be like, am I making this training harder than I'm going to feel it on race day? Because race day is tough, especially like I had athletes go to Patagon X Tri, and it's an extreme triathlon, right? And if you think it's going to show up and you didn't look at the course and didn't understand what you had ahead of you, it's going to kick you in the ass if you're not willing to take those process-based goals. So that's my takeaway. Gerald, I know looks like you're having a conversation with somebody off camera, but I need you to be present.
That's funny because someone was just asking me to be present.
I need you to pay the bills, Garrick.
Yeah. My internet's kind of cutting in and out, and I have no idea how we got to this point in the discussion. I thought we were talking about off season, and all of a sudden we're talking about goals and process goals. So I'm just gonna.
What you learned from this season, and you're taking it into this postseason. The things you learned. That's what we're talking about.
Okay, so we were talking about when we get to this point, it's a good time to step back, see what happened. And as we get into it, and as you get into training again, like when training volume's low, when it's low, you start integrating good habits and then add the training on top of that. Is that what we're trying to get to?
Look, man, you're the boss. You're a podcast host. You figure it out.
Well, I haven't been very present for the last little bit, so I don't know how you guys have been hosting it. Sorry. But, yeah, I think now is a great time. You got to really assess what failed, what didn't. If you're in December right now and say the last 3 seasons you've cracked in August, September, and you're just not there, you're getting frequently injured, and you're like, why can't I do it? Why can't I do it? And you chronically get to this point where you get to December and you're already, because you cracked in September, you're already 2 months into training, 3 months into training. It's like, hey, what have I done? What can I do? How can I get there so that I can race all year round? Because racing now, starts in March. It can start in March. It can start in February. You could race in Pucon in January. And
Dude,
it ends,
people are.
yeah, it ends this weekend
Oh
or
my
last
gosh.
weekend. It's crazy. So, yeah, you just got to revisit that, and then you just got to take time to just refocus, right? And just chill. But like I think Nick said, if you had a bad race, sometimes you're really motivated to get back into it, and maybe you let your body recover, but mentally you can just go through it and see why did you have a bad race and just enjoy it. I hope I jumped in right.
No, that was good.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Hey guys, I have a question for both of you, and I can answer this myself too. What did you guys specifically learn from this past year that you are going to implement for 2026? And that you could take it any direction you want.
Well, personally, I'm tired of being so nice about everything. I think I talked about that in a previous episode. Like, I want to go into things with more conviction, with more intensity, and more self-discipline to hold myself accountable. Like, I know I need to ride a bike race at like 340 plus watts if I'm going to make it count. And I know I need to run X. So like, if I'm not doing these things in training, if I'm not hitting these paces over that in training, if I'm not hitting the types of intensity in training, then there's no way a race is going to show up. So I'm going to use training as my like personal accountability to make sure I'm involved. I'm not letting other work stuff or team stuff distract and feel like I'm just showing up for the hell of it. Like, I want to make a mark for myself for these last few years of my racing career, because I'm not retiring like everybody else. So that's what I learned.
Garrick?
Oh, what did I learn this year? I don't know. I learned that, I mean, I don't know. I got burnt out by the end of the year. Just adding too much stuff on top of other stuff on top of other stuff. So I just need to prioritize my time and kind of not try to do everything, but do the important stuff first. And then on top of that, I need to integrate my training better into life. So I can't just be hammering 5-6 hour bike rides with a ton of zone 2 that's just going to wear me down on top of my mental state. I need to figure out how to further distribute my training load with my life load as well. And so that's kind of where I want to go. But I also want to have fun with it and, just follow what's going to be fun. So like last year, Ironman's still fun to me. The idea of an Ironman is still a lot of fun, but yeah, maybe I want to jump into a 3K track race. Maybe I want to do a bit more speed in the middle of the week. Like, I don't have to just grind out steady zone 2 as much as I enjoy it, but it does wear me down quite a bit. And I think I
hate
doing
zone
too
2.
much of it. And starting to train, like when you first get back into training towards an Ironman and planning your training as Ironman training, I find is probably not the best way to start a season.
Oh,
maybe
build into something more. Like,
yeah, like if you
I'm
haven't
training for like a half or something.
Yeah, like start with that speed, but if you're going to do an Ironman early season, maybe don't do a 12 weeks worth of Ironman work. Maybe just the last 4 weeks is like specific to it, and allow your body to really come back and just really develop yourself as a whole athlete early on in the season.
I always like to say speed is earned and endurance is just a gift. Because speed you have to really fight for, and endurance you can kind of most people can build the endurance, but like to get speed you really got to earn it, and you got to hold on and be smart. So I think like that's a good mentality. Lisa, same question. Yeah. Answer your question.
I learned a lot this year. I learned that I specifically got very greedy early in the spring with how much I wanted to race and where I wanted to race, and I chased money. And I have a schedule set for next year, and I'm really excited about it. I talked to my coach about it, and he's like, "Wow, I'm really impressed with
Wait, can we know the schedule?
Yeah, I can share you my schedule. But I'll tell you what I like. So that was one thing I learned. And then I think kind of bouncing off you, Nick, what I got is that I need to be a lot more intentional with things, like specifically like the weight room. I probably averaged like going to the weight room 2.5 times, 3 times a week for the majority of the year. But what I found was like when I was there, I was just going through the motions. I was like, okay, I got to do the deadlifts, got to do this. Where now I'm trying to be very intentional about like, all right, I'm doing single leg deadlifts. Like, what muscles am I supposed to feel? Like, am I keeping my core tight? How's my posture? And I
How's
think
your tempo?
yeah, like just the little things, and actually, like I'm gonna get more out of those exercises because I'm being more intentional and present. And same thing is going with my running. Even though I'm really enjoying like running on trails, I'm very focused on posture. Like, cause that's one of the first things to go with me when I'm getting tired is like my posture, my shoulders roll forward, my core is gone. I don't use my glutes at all. So like instilling the good habits now and then not being afraid to, maybe dial back intensity or volume like as we're going through the season, because I've found that I've like missed those things. So not having such a big ego to like keep knocking out workout after workout with bad form or just with too much fatigue, like being okay with saying, hey, I think I need to take a step back. I need to get back to the basics and and build from there. Just because I think me specifically, I'm not a machine, and I think if I want to make a big jump next year, I have to really start thinking about those little things a little bit more. So
Yeah, I like it.
yeah,
I think patience is also a really hard skill to develop as a professional athlete because there's races every weekend. You see your competitors doing well, and social media, as much as it's a great way for us to connect to people, it's also a big amount of pressure. I mean, social media gets a lot of hate and it's a lot of really good stuff, but you got to find that balance too. How do you find like social media impacts your ability to be stable?
I think social media is like I go through phases where sometimes I'm like, oh, this is so fun, or or like you're going through a rough patch and you're like, I don't want to share anything. But if you approach it as like a job, you can kind of turn it on and turn it off when you need to. Like, this is my job. I have these requirements, and if you want to do extra posts, share it. But I think it's less about the posting on our end and more about the scrolling on our end.
Yeah, I really don't do that. I gotta say, I don't ever scroll, and if I do, it's just through like nerdy YouTube shit about like engineering and farm equipment. So like, I'm not looking at a lot of triathletes. To be very honest.
Garrick, how is your scrolling?
It's shockingly little triathlon scrolling. It's so far from triathlon scrolling. It's not bad. Jack seems to think I'm awful with scrolling for some reason.
You must be.
But, I don't know.
He knows all.
Yeah. But I do enjoy myself some good YouTube. So longer form video.
Yeah, the only time that I think I'm on YouTube is like, and it's weird, I wind down with it at night. I will like fall asleep to some dude who's doing some solo trek through Afghanistan, and I'm trying to learn about some culture, or through rural China, or rebuilding supercars that have been broken. Like, I just have such weird YouTube tendencies. It's not at all sport.
You really need to hang out with Steve more, because you guys
Steve and I are
like your YouTube history would be like on par.
Yeah, and surfing.
Let's learn about the Roman Empire in 19.
Exactly.
Fall of Civilizations is like the best thing to fall asleep to.
Yeah.
I personally have been really into like watching ball sports, specifically the Bears, even though we lost yesterday, which was really sad.
Big L,
but we deserve to lose, even though
they
the
played
second
a real
half.
team for the first time. Yeah.
No.
Oh, dirty.
Don't even. It was 7 degrees. We were cold. We're not used to that in Chicago. We get a
Yeah,
rematch
never
with
gets
the
cold in
Packers.
Chicago.
We get a rematch with them in 2 weeks. Okay, so we're taking it to them in our house.
Was it real that Brett Favre used to run around and do practice like butt naked sometimes or something in the snow? I heard that was like a legitimate thing about before his downfall. I didn't realize he was such a piece of trash, by the way.
Well, I don't know. There's what's his face? I forget who I'm talking about. Someone in our small circle of pro triathlete coaches Brett Favre's wife in triathlon, and she competed in, I think, at Augusta 70.3 this year.
Favre.
Brett Favre's wife. Yeah.
Sweet. All right.
Anyways,
well,
you guys want to know my race schedule?
oh yeah, please. And then we'll talk about the Patreon.
Okay. Here's what I'm thinking. This is all tentative. Cozumel Camp in January. I think I'm going to run a half marathon, the Mesa Half Marathon in February.
Yes.
Because I've only run one open half marathon ever, and it was in 2013.
When is that race?
Valentine's Day. You want to come? Do it?
I was thinking about it. I was literally thinking about that the other day. I was like, oh, that's
on
a
Valentine's
perfectly timed
Day.
race.
Where is it?
It's in Phoenix area.
Hate
You're gonna
Phoenix.
go down with Alio and the athlete special.
What's that?
What is this?
You don't know Alio?
Ellie
Witchcraft.
Ostrander? What
Yeah.
about her? What's the athlete special though?
They ran it last year.
Oh,
Of
it's
course,
really
we should have
It's
known.
like,
it's really competitive. Like it's yeah.
Like, do you
there's
think you can
some-
go 115?
115.
118?
Literally the fastest I've ever run a half was 126 in a
Off the bike.
triathlon.
I bet
don't
you'll
know.
go 118, Lisa.
That would be crazy. I would be stoked.
You will.
I would be setting my 5K PR multiple times in a row.
okay,
But
so
who
after
knows?
that, after Mesa,
After that, I'll probably do a local TT in March, just that's like in town. But I'm going to do Oceanside. That'll be my first triathlon. And then I'm going to do St. Anthony's because it's my all-time favorite race. And I love it. And then I think I'm not going to race until June 17th. And I want to do Pro Time Trial Nationals again. I think that's the
Nice.
date. They're never great at it, but in Charleston, West Virginia. And then I think I'll fly right from West Virginia to Mont Tremblant 70.3. Canada.
Whoa. Wait, when is that?
June 21st.
Shit.
It's the week after Happy Valley. So Happy
Man,
Valley is
you're-
North American Champs. I think I might tentatively right now sit that out because I really want to do TT Pro Nationals again. And TT Pro Nationals would be like 3 or 4 days after that. And I know my body would probably still be thrashed. And so,
I like that schedule, though.
and then Boise in July.
True that.
And
Wait,
then a
when is
little-
Boise in July?
July 25th.
Okay, I can do that. Yes.
And then one of my goals is to get 4 Pro Series races again, and that that means I'd only have 2 at that point. So this is pending if I qualify for 70.3 Worlds. I'd still need to do that. But I would maybe try to take a big Europe trip and do Zellum Z on August 30th, and then 2 weeks later race 70.3 Worlds. And then might do an
Ironman.
Ironman.
Wait. Huh? Wait. What? Wait. Which one?
I don't know because they haven't put the Pro Series or
Let's
the
do
Pro
Cozumel.
races out. I can't. I'll die.
It's so good there. You've trained there. You know what it's like.
I know.
Nick every year is like, let's do Cozumel. Cozumel's great. And then he does the
gotta-
race and he's like, this was the worst thing
We got
ever.
it. You always give Cozumel the credit.
You race on the surface of the sun.
Worth
But
it.
I don't know. They haven't put out the pro schedule past October, so I don't know what. I don't know if it's going to
like
be like an
it.
Ironman,
Ironman
Florida, if it's
Florida.
going to be a Western Australia, if there's going to, I don't know. Yeah, so,
Oh, yeah. Western Australia in December. I was going to go out and do that one.
yeah. So maybe I will. I don't know.
Okay. Well, Scott T from Fuel and already said we should go and party and hang out with them.
Oh, that'd be so fun.
And it's beautiful, apparently. I like that schedule, Lisa. I'm confident in that schedule. And, I'm still skeptical of your Ironman full distance choice.
Yeah,
I
me
don't know if it's
too.
going to happen.
Same. But
All this
we'll
bullshit
TBD.
talking.
In a year from now, we'll know.
How many
Will I
people,
be an Ironman?
speaking of off season, how many people at this time when they start their off season are like, next year at the end of the year, I'm going to do an Ironman?
Me.
Or like, yeah, and then it just never happens. Yeah, but Nick, you do Ironmans all the time. I'm talking about like people are like, yeah, my first Ironman is going to be that. And they're
Next
like,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. And then they don't do it.
Yeah.
Or they're
Proud of
like,
you,
oh
Lisa.
yeah, this year I'm going to do that half Ironman that I've been planning, but they've only ever raced short course. And then they're like, yeah, but then they put it in like September, October, and they just never get to it.
I know.
All right. Well, I'm not going to go over my schedule. We'll wait till we get Jackson on to go over the schedules because his is going to influence mine just because I like to travel and hang out with him. And there's a couple things that we're looking at. I mean, we'll probably do not as much, but my schedule is kind of looking pretty okay. But I'm not ready to talk about it yet because I just got my lever and I'm going to be running inside still.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. That's a big deal, though.
All right. Yeah, it's good. It's been good. But let's move on to Patreon names that if people have been still supporting us currently and haven't turned off their
That's my drum roll.
recurring payment. That's good. And if you want to, Garrick will and Lisa will put our Patreon link somewhere on our Instagram.
Oh yeah, it's always in the description of the show.
It's always in the show notes.
Yep.
Well, some free subscribers. Well, we're just going to go on the list. David P, you're free. Thank you. Chris just has Chris. And I think like L is your last initial. You're free. You're cool. Sean S, free. Dale B has put in over $500 into us. Thank you, Dale. You're the best.
You're the freaking best. That's awesome.
Yeah, we got a Joseph who's free. Heather, you've
free mean?
Yeah,
that means that they're just like they're a Patreon member who just gets messages that I don't put up to anybody. Oh. But you're still like they followed the link and they were like, hey, you know what happens? Let's see.
I like it.
So you can be a free person, like, and some people were paying and then they've been free. So like we've got like $570, and then we've got Tom who did do about $190. Manuel, $3. That was solid. Brent,
cup of coffee.
Free.
Love it.
Well, you're gonna love this one because I'm not afraid to say his name. Brian Laundry has given us $1,000, $1,100.
Brian.
Over the course of a few years.
Brian's the best. He got me a huge discount on my truck.
He's the best. I agree.
Brian is the best. He's coming to camp.
Yep.
If you want to meet the Brian Laundry, you too can sign up for Cosmo Camp. Even though Nick said we have a lot of people, but you can still sign up.
You can still sign up. I added more people.
We're gonna allow you to
sign up.
And then Gabe Harley, he's my gem. He's given us over $1,000 since 2023. Blake, you've been free. You did give us $93 though. Lino, dude, you're a gem. And honestly,
Lino,
like
I've mailed
Lino's
stuff to
awesome.
Lino.
Yeah,
that's great.
Shout out to his dogs.
Yeah, he always talk like he's like one of the biggest OG. He sends me screenshots of him on the bike watching us on the trainer and his trainer. Like one of the best dudes. He always sends me pizza
Lino.
and wings.
Oh no!
What a unit.
That's awesome.
We got some Chris K has given us $30, and from then on out we've got a couple 88ers. Nicholas K, Jason B, $6, man, goes a long way. Thanks, Tom.
Hey, do we have any women?
I don't know if a lot of girls. That's what I'm saying. I don't think you've been doing your job.
Yeah,
Lisa.
Courtney was Courtney. Piper King. She was a Patreon for the longest time.
Yeah, she's not on my list.
And then I came.
Oh yeah, there's Courtney. Yeah, Courtney gave us over $340. So like that was legit.
Oh,
she's a gem.
Wait, she still is.
Maybe we shouldn't tell people how much they've been giving us because maybe they forgot and it just
yeah, they're just like
out, and now they're like, shoot, it's like those auto subscription things, and now they're like, oh no, I didn't know I was still subscribed. I gotta cancel.
Some folks have been on since like 2021, and they're doing like $10 a month. Some are doing 8, some are doing 6, and some like Brian's doing 35, which is savage. Wow,
that's crazy.
So that's a few of our Patreon. Thank you so much.
Nice. You guys have helped us get stuff like...
I'm so thankful. Well, because I'm so thankful about the Patreon people, I'm going to send them some. If we got enough stock, I will pay for the shipping and the product, and we'll send it to them. People that are paying members on Patreon.
Paying members right now on Patreon.
There's currently however many members we got. Let me see. I think there's 7. So I think it's not going to cost you too much. Yeah, 7 paid folks right now. I can send you their email, and you can get their. You can send them something, sticker, a high five. I don't know.
We got some water bottles.
That's it.
Yeah, I can't do everything is the problem. I need someone to take care of this Patreon better than because I can't do it. Lisa, I know you're busy. Garrick, you just you're busy. We got to hire you. Somebody.
Send
Well,
us the emails.
we know Jack ain't gonna do it.
No.
Yeah, send us the emails. We'll coordinate it. We'll get it out there, Nick.
Yeah, we'll get you in the show notes, and I think it's on our link tree on Real Tri Squad Instagram. Support Patreon. Anyways, I think it's been a great episode. Lisa, you just, whatever glow light you're using, it just is, it's accentuating such a vibrance out of you. Great job.
Thanks. I'm working on my at-home setup with the anti-depression lights. It's what it is.
You don't
so
want
I'm
even
getting the happy light, and I'm becoming less seasonal depressed and have good light. The
You can't be
podcast.
seasonally depressed. You live in Colorado. You live in the mountains. Come on.
Yeah, just go ski.
No seasonal depression.
Go do something out in the
know.
snow.
But I tell you, we get like one day every like 3 weeks, and the sun doesn't come out, and I'm like, that's the end.
Oh no.
Sorry about that. I'm in Utah. I'm good. We're killing it. We're 60s and 65s right now.
We've been in the
Oh.
50s, but wind, per usual.
We are. What is
Garrick's
it?
13.
14 degrees. Yeah. 13.
That's terrible.
But the high was 26.
Oh,
Balmy.
dirty. Not even post the freeze. All right. Well, thanks for listening. Garrick, thanks for being here. Lisa, thanks for being here. We'll bring you another riveting episode next week. We will be bringing on some sports psychologist. I am going to bring on Stephanie Clutterbach. We are going to bring on Scott Deroux in the next period
Hopefully.
of time. I don't know when.
Scott has to respond to my email, so
He will.
Scott.
Don't worry. Sometimes, look, I've watched people do 20 follow-ups and just say random stuff like, hey, saw you got a new car. You want to come on the podcast? Like, just do that. He will come on. Anyways.
And maybe we'll get Jimmy Riccatello on, and Lisa can fire him personally.
I said I did not want to fire him. That was Talbot. Don't put it on me, Jimmy. You're my boy. Let's get 25 meter.
Yeah, we're not that type of podcast. We don't fire people.
No.
So, until the next episode, thanks so much for joining, and we will talk to you later. Lisa, Garrick, I love you. Peace out.
Duh.